With clearance from the FDA, here come non-prescription hearing aids. Welcome to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from Lucid Hearing is Executive Vice President of Research and Development, Bennett Griffin. Hi, Bennett.
Good morning, Fred.
Good morning. Well, tell us some background, first of all, about the company. You are not new to this business.
That's true. Lucid Hearing's been around for a little over a dozen years now, and we've been in the business of helping people hear better for that entire time. And our history is really in the prescription hearing aid space. So we've been designing, manufacturing, delivering, and servicing hearing aids for folks through a network of clinics that we have, a little over 500 across the US. And we also help folks in China and in Latin America as well. And with that background in hearing health, we are very excited with the new frontiers that are opening with the recent FDA final rule for over-the-counter hearing aids as well.
So what should people know about this and what it's going to mean for consumers from your perspective?
Well, really what it's going to mean is it's going to be a broadening of choice and a broadening of availability for tools and products and technologies that can help people with their hearing health. So, historically, and up to really what will be the new beginning in October, hearing aids are prescription medical devices. They require you to visit a clinic or a doctor, and there is a personalization process where those hearing aids are fit to your loss. And for many, many Americans, that's still going to be the best way to get a hearing aid, because that particular path provides you with the ability to test your hearing in a clinical setting and to get that hearing aid tuned to exactly what you need. But for many Americans, especially those with a mild or more moderate hearing loss, there's an easier way now with over-the-counter. And so there will be a new frontier, a new catalog of products, if you will, that will be available at places, like a pharmacy or like a Best Buy, where you can approach your hearing health needs in more of a do-it-yourself kind of fashion and find a product that works for you right off the shelf. Take it home, try it out. And we believe that's going to open the doorway to hearing health for many, many Americans that up to now, either because of just cost or convenience, they haven't taken that step yet.
The majority of people, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 2/3 of the people who probably could use help haven't gotten it, right?
That is exactly right. Hearing health is an interesting segment of just our overall health as Americans and citizens of the world. It's often not addressed. And so the number of people who need hearing health is substantially more than those who have received hearing health care. So we believe over-the-counter and the new generation of products are going to help us meet people earlier in that hearing health journey. And quite honestly, the earlier you get hearing health assistance, the better your quality of life is. And hearing is an interesting area where it's actually the third most common chronic condition, according to the CDC, more prevalent than diabetes or cancer. And yet it's often, and for the majority of folks, unaddressed.
Part of that is insurance, perhaps, or the lack thereof. And there are other issues too, the stigma attached to being seen wearing a hearing aid, that kind of thing. And perhaps the lowering the cost here, and there will be new designs as well, I think, right? That may help with all of these issues.
Absolutely. I think part of what over-the-counter brings in is this continuation of a trend that had already begun, but an acceleration of this blending of consumer electronics and medical devices. And these are wearable devices. Some people will wear them more situationally, as in certain situations where they might need that extra help. Other folks will be more like a traditional hearing aid user that would wear them from dawn to dusk all day long. And there will be products that satisfy both of those types of customers and types of needs.
What does it mean for a company like yours when you're going to be facing this new competition from consumer electronics companies who've been known perhaps for earphones, headphones, that kind of thing, who are moving into the space as well?
Sure, I think that's actually one of the the goals the FDA had was to to broaden that competition. So for a company like ours, we are excited and welcome that because it's all to the benefit of the customer and the consumer. And so as we continue to build new products and design new products, and as our competitors do that, that natural competition, forces all of us to be our best, and the winner really is the customer. So we're excited about the opportunities that this brings to us and to the others in the industry.
Tell us about some of the products that you'll have on the market in this category. Typically, what the costs might be, and what consumers should know.
Absolutely. Well, the first thing consumers should know is that true over-the-counter hearing aids will still be regulated medical devices, and so that's a good thing for the customer. It also means that you want to make sure that the packaging says OTC hearing aid, because if it doesn't say that, it's not actually a medical device. So we believe that there'll be products that are in a form factor that's similar to what the majority of hearing aids are today, which is a behind the ear form factor with a speaker that then is inserted in the ear with a tiny little wire. Those provide excellent sound clarity, and they're comfortable for all day use, and they have all day battery life as well. There also will be products that are more in the ear products. So they will look more like an earbud or a consumer electronics product. Some of those will have, again, all day battery life. Others of those will be more situational. They'll be intended to use for a few hours, and then they'll need to be charged. So customers will want to make sure they're looking at, the way the product is worn. They'll want to verify it is an OTC hearing aid, and not just an amplifier that simply makes everything louder. And they'll want to consider, how do they want to use the product? Is this something they'll be using at a restaurant or in a large venue when they need some additional help, or is this something they really intend to wear all day long? In which case, comfort and battery life are really going to be two of the key features that people want to make sure they're looking at. Can
you tell us anything about the price range we can expect?
We believe that the price range is going to primarily be in that $300 to $1,000 range. So you'll see some products, entry level products in that $300 to $500 range. That'll be especially good for those situational users. And then the more deluxe products, the ones that really bring in features like streaming audio and all day battery life, and the ability to adjust the hearing aids with a Bluetooth connected app on a smartphone. Those will tend to be in that higher price band, closer to $750 to $1,250.
And I suppose there's going to be an educational process that the industry overall is going to have to undertake here when it comes to addressing consumers.
For sure, and again, it's a great opportunity for people to be able to help themselves, kind of a do-it-yourself approach. But again, hearing health is not something we've talked about a lot as a country or as a culture. So there's a lot for folks to learn, and the industry has an opportunity to help teach and coach along the way. Similarly, there are folks for whom a more traditional prescription fit hearing aid is still going to be their best solution. And so I think as an industry, part of what we need to do is help people understand that process of decisioning and understand, if they really are going to be a candidate for an over-the-counter product, or if they're really going to be best served with more of a full service approach.
Very interesting. And the advantages you feel that you'll have in this market, if you want to tick off a couple of those for us?
Absolutely. Well, Lucid Hearing is uniquely positioned for the over-the-counter market because we've already been partnering with retail companies for our entire existence. So we operate hearing aid centers in Sam's Club locations, among others, kind of a store within a store. So we're well versed in understanding how retail shoppers work. We've got products that are designed specifically for that over-the-counter space based on our history and based on our work in the clinics over the years. We've got in the entry-level price points, we've got some really fantastic products that are based on truly decades of hearing research. And our upper-end products actually take in the benefit of the data that we've been able to collect over all of these years. And we tuned our over-the-counter hearing aids to be based on what we've seen with real life customers in the real world. So we did a machine learning and cluster analysis study with a major audiological research university. And we actually used close to 100,000 audiograms to design the acoustics or our over-the-counter hearing aids. We feel like it's going to be a really great out-of-the-box experience for folks who use our Engage and FEO products.
For more information, where can people go?
Please go to lucidhearing.com. You can also go to engagehears.com and feohears.com for information on those two products I just mentioned.
Terrific. Lots to look forward to. Bennett, Griffin, thank you so much for taking the time with us.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.